We're rolling? Are we're recording and rolling and we're podcasting, huh? Okay, well, so what have we done? We have officially started recording a podcast, and the first 5 minutes just got ruined by a squeaky door.
Well, we needed like a nice little intro.
So it'll be the squeaky door.
Every time? That's pretty good.
Yeah, so, I'm not great at Instagram. I'm not great at YouTube. And now we're just going to try a podcast out.
Something to not be great at.
I can be bad at another thing, which is, it's fine, I guess. We can give it a go. I've always enjoyed doing them when I've been a guest, when someone just, is interviewing me or we're talking about working out or whatever. So maybe this could turn into something fun, We can talk to other bros and girl bros that like to work out.
Love bro talk.
And we can maybe get some good hangs going and introduce some of the weightlifting fans to maybe some of Cal Strength's other athletes that are around. Some other guys that are much cooler than even the weightlifting team. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it, and hopefully it's good and fun.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's the goal.
What are you doing here?
Well, apparently I have to talk about myself. That's all.
Are you nervous about it?
A little bit.
I told Jake that we're gonna ask him some questions for this first one, and so I guess he just wants to.
I can answer questions.
He wants to ace it. He doesn't want to take a test and do bad. Which is
A+ only.
Probably genetic.
Mm-hmm. Well, nature and nurture. Because I'll catch a swift Korean backslap.
So what do you think? What do you think will happen on here? What kind of stuff are we gonna podcast about?
I mean, I think we get a lot of content talking about training and the things that we obviously do well, which is weightlifting.
Right.
And this can be an avenue to talk about some of the other stuff, some of the more random stuff that just maybe thoughts and ideas.
You know what I think's important that we could get out is how weightlifting can be utilized in other things that's not just weightlifting. So how maybe weightlifting can help you excel in other sports. How maybe weightlifting can give you a hobby that is positive and get you out of,
or even just like
out of something,
making you a more confident person and a better person and a hardworking person.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I think we can tie weightlifting to a lot of things and a lot of people, and maybe this will be a good place for that, and a lot of people will come to it.
Yeah, something to tune in and listen to, at the very least, us laughing about dumb shit.
Yeah, more likely we'll get downloaded like 5 times or less, and it'll be your mom, my mom, Christian's mom.
My mom will do it 3 times probably because she won't really. She'll have multiple avenues. So one on the iPad, one on the iPhone.
So I guess we're gonna have to cater to our audience.
I suppose.
What would your mom want you to say right now?
That I'm studying really hard, and that's all I've been doing. And school is my priority and main focus.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we just started a deload week today, and it wasn't great. Honestly,
It's kind of a hard first day.
Yeah, I had my head on for like a really chill, like easy, smooth practice. And then we came in and we did some fairly intense powers and some front squatting. And
front squats were easy, but
yeah, my head just wasn't in it.
Yeah,
I was achy and tight. I moved like crap.
I think after Saturday, we kind of went into the weekend thinking Monday was going to be some box jumps and like kettlebell swings.
Yeah, we kind of checked out after bless you.
Thank you.
We kind of checked out after Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely did the deload mindset all weekend.
Oh, for
I don't know about you, but I made a new imprint in my couch yesterday.
Nice.
I spent so much time just in one place. There's actually a new divot. So, yeah. It's
got to rotate your cushions. It's like tires.
So, yeah, that's probably one of the reasons I came in so tight and crusty today. But, that program's gone. It was 4 weeks. It was a tough 4 weeks. And apparently, historically, Cal Strength's toughest program. What do you think? What do you think about the 4 weeks of programming we just tackled?
That was my first accumulation with Cal Strength, and it was definitely tough. Not much to base it off of, just because I've only been doing like realization since I've been here. But yeah, a lot of work, a lot of volume, a lot of reps, a lot of misses, but some good improvements across the board.
You say that you missed a lot, but I feel like I don't remember you missing that much.
Yeah, I mean, you're always your own toughest critic, right?
Right. I feel like I missed a lot.
Yeah, you definitely missed a lot. You sucked a fat one most days.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It was a weird combination of just spending a ton of time at the gym. Like, it was just like weird. Like, I don't know. There's something about it that made it take so long. And apparently the volume was in there, but I didn't feel like I was just doing a ton of stuff. But like, why was it taking so long?
I don't know, because even in our warm-ups, we were getting through a warm-up in about 30 minutes, which typically we're on the turf for an hour.
Yeah.
And we were able to kind of get there 30 minutes, maybe putz around a little bit, but for the most part, we're starting not too long after that. But yeah, it was just a ton of time at the gym. But still, I remember thinking some days after a double day, leaving at night, being like, God, that was a kind of a drag, just a long day, but still kind of awesome. Like, we just got to spend the entire day training. Like, some people would do anything to have that kind of a day.
Which we're lucky that we actually got to waste that much time in the gym.
Yeah.
I think when, you think you can be a weightlifter, you'll have like all this free time because all you have to do is lift weights and then you get to rest and you can kind of rest however you want. But I think we were putting in like a full-time job worth of exercise.
Yeah.
So by the time it's time to rest, like, it's real rest.
Yeah,
like, you don't want to move.
Yeah. And we're doing, 25 hours a week in the gym.
That's probably even on the low side.
Yeah, maybe 25 to 30.
Because we're so slow.
Plus and then there's time commuting, and then all the time you need to take, like, prepping your meals and stretching before bed and, just everything that goes into being successful at this. It was definitely at least full-time, if not more.
You know what? Those things that you just mentioned would be great things to talk about on a podcast.
Now we have some direction. Look at that. See, we don't even need a plan. We can just talk, and we're going to eventually get on to God of War on PS4 at some point. Dude, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Video games. We'll get there.
Okay.
We should definitely, like, that would be cool. It would be like a nutrition episode, and then we can be like amateur nutritionists. So,
legally, no.
But amateur, right? That means you get paid and you're not trained?
Does it work that way?
I don't know.
I think only in porn.
What is it the Hosh twins say? They say solicited but unprofessional advice.
Yeah, so solicited unprofessional advice.
We should probably put that out right now.
That might have to be the title of the podcast.
This is the podcast is
solicited unprofessional advice. I mean, you're a professional, technically, weightlifter.
Right.
You can give professional advice in that aspect.
So as long as we stay on weightlifting, I'm a
certified professional.
I do have a level 2.
I have my CrossFit level 1.
I used to.
Does that make me?
Lost that. So
mine expires in May, I'm pretty sure.
Now that mine's gone, I don't know anything about CrossFit.
No, I need a PVC to relearn how to do a shitty squat.
I got torched at CrossFit camp. My technique.
For bending your knees when you squat?
Oh, they just give me a PVC pipe. Let's see a snatch.
We're going to get a cease and desist from CrossFit HQ because I'm talking too much shit.
And it's like, no. I'm pretty sure I do more than you.
Nope, you're wrong.
No, you don't. No, you don't. We need to change this. But yeah, I mean, I had fun when I went to that CrossFit camp there.
I didn't. We had to do a workout.
I won one of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this in your grid days though, when you were really
This
good
was
at that
even
kind of stuff?
before that.
We should
Before
definitely
Grid
talk
League.
about that at some point.
Oh, it's a little.
How'd you get here?
Because I had this really tight sleeveless shirt that I wore for my uniform.
Ooh, that's
I was
cool.
on the New York Rhinos.
New York.
Yeah, for New York. Actually, still have been to New York. So
Wait, let's go a little further back. Gray Skull Fitness.
You just weren't trying to not talk
That's
about
exactly
your stuff
what
because
I'm
you
doing.
know it's on the list next. This is our list of things we're going to talk about because we weren't feeling super confident that we could remember 3 things. But so far, so good. Was that like an hour and a half?
Yeah, we've been talking for at least 2 hours now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, cheers to our first 2 hours.
Yeah.
Should we just end it now?
I think we got to actually talk about something first. We're going to make this really hard to edit.
All right. So, Jake, let's do that next line. That line that says, "Who's Jake Baker?"
Who is Jake Baker?
Where'd you come from, dude? How did you get to California Strength?
Cal Strength, okay.
Because you aren't even, you're not even from here. You're not even from California.
No, I was born in Germany.
You ventured all the way from Germany.
Yeah.
Germany. You ventured all the way over from Germany to California.
Yeah.
Just for weightlifting.
Just for weightlifting.
How long did it take you?
28 years.
To sail?
Yeah. I walked.
So, yeah. Well, where's the first stop? So you were born in Germany. You're a baby.
I was a little baby.
Then
we went over to Colorado. That's where I grew up in Aurora, Colorado. Okay. Famous for the Batman Theater being shot up. That's very close to my hometown, the house I grew up in. And that's what kind of put us on the map. And, after that, I just realized I could do anything from there.
You said that. It's absolutely terrible.
No, I mean, I think it's worth noting. That's where I grew up. Is that place.
Yeah.
And it's a lot nicer now. But from Aurora, let's see. I graduated high school when I was 17 and moved to Boston for music school.
Hold on, did you work out in high school? What'd you do?
No, I played no sports and had no friends. So high school was a lot of video games and a lot of
you got your first tattoo in high school?
I did. I got all of them in high school,
did
actually.
You?
Pretty sure, except
the
big one. 15 or 16.
What'd you get first?
Oh, man, who knows at this point?
Yeah, I think I know. Which one did you get first?
Oh, man, I totally don't remember. Probably like...
Jake there's so much depth to this man, and I'm really trying to pull it out of him.
I was
right
vegan in high school, and...
For how long?
3 years.
I think there's a really interesting,
almost 4 years.
There's an interesting quote that you've made
it
as to why you went vegan.
So, like most 14-year-olds, I saw a PETA video. Are you familiar with PETA? And from that video, seeing how they treated animals in factory farms, I decided, it'd be a good idea to go vegetarian. I thought that'd be a great idea. So I remember talking to my mom and saying, "Hey, Mom, I think I'm going to be a vegetarian," and her laughing in my face and saying, "You won't even, Chica, you're not going to do that for 2 weeks." I took offense to this and decided to go vegan to spite her. Okay. So it wasn't really, it wasn't a body purification or ethical thing. It was solely out of spite.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of the driving force in my life for a lot of things. But we digress.
And that's your first tattoo. Show everybody.
I keep forgetting that this is being recorded.
It's a vegan tattoo with a period. What's the period for?
That was a statement.
It's a statement. Vegan, period. Okay, so you were vegan. You didn't have a lot of friends in high school. You didn't play sports.
Didn't do anything, really. I was in band. I played the drums. So after graduating high school, I moved to Boston to go to music school, Berklee College of Music. And that's where I enlisted in the Army, because that's a very sensible progression of things.
That's like a huge step. So like college is usually like a big thing for a lot of people. So you went to college at music. So how long were you in music for?
I did 3 semesters at Berklee College of Music.
Year and a half. All right, and what did you do there? You played the drums?
Yeah, I played the drums. I was a composition major, so I did, for my first just semester, I'm pretty sure, video game scoring was like my focus. So a lot of music writing. And then I decided that I just wanted to focus on playing the drums, so I switched from that to drum set performance. And so all my classes were just playing drums with people.
So at this point, you're like 20 years old and you've still not ever worked out?
This is like I was 17 to 18, still hadn't worked out. Just kind of playing music, being cool, being super hip.
So, so imagine when cool guys when they enlist, they finally work out for the first time.
Yeah, and that's kind of what brought me into weightlifting was after I had enlisted, I was just really skinny, and so I was told that I needed to gain some weight, and I ended up going to a CrossFit gym. So I got into weightlifting through CrossFit.
I hate when I have to say
I
that.
know, me too, but it's true.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, I did CrossFit at CrossFit Fenway for, I don't know, 3 months until my PCS'd, and eventually I found myself at the United States Military Academy where I was still doing CrossFit, but there was no official like CrossFit gym or anything like that. So I was just training alone all the time and decided to just start focusing on weightlifting. And I was about 21 at the time. So it was in 2012. So I'd say that's when my official start at weightlifting began.
so you started lifting weights when you were 20.
20, yeah.
And then when weightlifting at 21?
Yeah. I mean, in CrossFit, you kind of like do it all, right? Like,
yeah,
you learn how to snatch, but I didn't really focus on that. And I would say it wasn't until like 2012 that I actually decided to stop doing, CrossFit programming and just focus on getting better at weightlifting, getting stronger. I think I did Jim Wendler's 531.
Yeah.
Was the first.
It's weird. It's different when you go to your CrossFit class and you take 15 to 20 minutes to ramp up a strength movement, and then you go into your conditioning. You're not really weightlifting. It's so much different.
I mean, if you're a beginner, you can absolutely get stronger doing strength movements for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But after 6 months of pretty dedicated training, it takes a lot more if you want to get better, if you want to get stronger.
Yeah.
So, but I was coming from, literally no athletic background. Well, that's not true. I did some martial arts back in the day, but didn't lift weights. Huh?
Karate?
Taekwondo.
Wasn't like SpongeBob?
But yeah, I came from being super weak.
Then you were a ninja.
I was a ninja.
And then you worked out.
Yeah.
Now you're a buff ninja.
I guess.
Well,
is that what I can be described as?
That took us through military school. And then at military school, you did some powerlifting. Yeah. And you got some pretty badass powerlifting numbers. I don't think I've seen you do since.
No, I've not touched those since. So, yeah, at West Point, we did geared powerlifting. For those of you who don't know what that is,
geared powerlifting?
It's a single ply suit. So it's like, imagine a really tight pair of jeans that you have to squat in, but they're not going to rip. They're just going to give you a lot of like support in the bottom of your squat or in the bottom of your bench. And that's just how you train. You just wear that shit to lift. And so I think powerlifting, my best squat was 725 pounds. And at the time, my best raw back squat was, I think, 375. So I got a lot out of my suit and knee wraps.
That says a lot about how smart you are and how.
Well, yeah, if you can learn how to use the gear, then you can get a lot. I think my best raw bench was like maybe 300 for a triple, 275 definitely for a triple, 300 for maybe a 2 or something.
Still pretty.
And
big.
I benched 500 in a suit,
which is insane.
Yeah,
that's like a pretty good number to like. A crazy number.
Yeah, but also in terms of like where I stood nationally, nowhere near the top. Everyone's benching 500
because they've all got the suits on.
Well, because they were strong too, and then used the suit and figured out how to do that. And so, yeah, I mean, I think my deadlift was the one where you get the least out of the gear. I pulled 600, and my best raw pull was 405.
All right, so now you're 22, and you've got a little bit of a strength base,
kind of.
And then where do you go? West Point. You're at West Point.
Yeah. So in 2014, I left West Point to move to California and start lifting some weights out here.
That brings you to California. You made it out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then sacrificed a lot getting out of the Army.
Yeah.
To kind of try to do something with my athletic career on the civilian side. So been working at that ever since.
Yeah. And now you've put in about 7 years weightlifting?
8
years weightlifting.
Yeah. January 2012, I think, is when I started.
Well, has it been your hardest year of weightlifting? This one at California?
Actually, no. In terms of like the work,
yes,
definitely the most work I've ever done in any year for weightlifting. But the hardest year was probably 2018 or most of last year.
Oh, yeah?
Early last year. So from like late 2017 to late 2018, that time period, I was just, my training had increased really well in 2017, and my numbers went up, and it just kind of stalled. And I know a year and a half is not a long time to be complaining about not hitting PRs, but throughout that whole period, I saw a sharp decline in a lot of my strength numbers and kind of stalling on everything, and then just injury after injury. I think I pulled out of 2 nationals and 1 American Open just because I got hurt right before, and 1 American Open series. So 4 meets I paid for, trained up till about a month out, got hurt and had to stop.
Plateaus are tough, man. I mean, like getting hung up like that, like it kills your motivation because you spend so much time training to do these meets in weightlifting, and you don't really get to do that many in a year. And when the biggest one comes around and then you're not even in shape to show up.
No, it's nothing but like, anxiety. You think you have to go perform. You think about what your performance is going to be like when training's going really bad, and it sucks. Actually, before coming out here, which was in July of last year, I was about ready to hang the shoes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hit a point where I could either kind of focus a lot more on my academic career and kind of do that and put everything into that and let weightlifting be my side hustle. Mm-hmm. Then I came here and was like, you know what, that's not what I want to do at all. This is it for me till at least 2024.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll put a whole nother quad in.
This is the goal, 2024 in it. Yeah, that's exactly why we have to do programs like we just did. You get stuck. You try to hit heavier lifts. You're just doing the weightlifting. You beat some stuff up. You have to at some point rest, tear it all down, and build it back up. You gotta hit the strength hard. Take what you can get in the lifts and just build your base up. And what else that does, you become a tougher weightlifter. Like you get better put together, and then you can take more attempts. You can take heavier attempts. You just it's almost safer.
Yeah.
You feel like you're just tearing yourself down, but what comes out of it is a sturdier weightlifter.
Yeah.
And then
building that base, having a good foundation.
And when realization comes around, you just feel like a superhero.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool when you get it right.
I mean, also like not even the program itself is important, but that's something I've always had my entire weightlifting career. Because even before I had a coach, was still using some, LSUS had that program, or Podium Gold. You're always finding programs, some are Catalyst. I've done plenty of Catalyst programs. But what was different about being here is like, first off, having Dave and your knowledge of the lifts and being able to help me with my technique in that aspect. And then just having more people who are lifting a ton of weight.
Yeah.
Like seeing you snatch 175 and I'm trying to do 150 is like, okay, I need to get my shit together and do this. And then Chevy fucking smoking 145 and I have him nipping at my heels. It's like, yeah, it's all a very, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like an ecosystem.
Synergistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. combination that gets you to just get your shit together and improve.
And I think, one thing that Dave does really good for us is when he puts these things together, he's not putting together a program to do something. Like, we're not doing a squat cycle. We're doing volume, and that volume leads into a program that's going to get you more used to heavy singles, which then in turn gets you ready to do a competition.
Right.
So one builds on the other, builds on the other. You're not like, okay, here we're doing a jerk cycle. Like, just think about that for a second. If you like put everything else to the side and you just do jerks for a month, or like you focus more on jerks for a month, like, that's not necessarily going to get you there as a weightlifter.
Right.
You
get better at jerks.
Right. But what it really takes is like a look into, you as a whole, like your weightlifting as a whole, and you have to, maybe you focus more on one thing, but you have to bring it all up at the same time. And really, I think the amount of work you're doing as it relates to your competition schedule is more important than really almost like the exercise selection.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you can't just randomly slap stuff together and try to get the volume right. But I think that, really underworking is a much bigger issue than like not doing enough hang snatches or, whatever, like whatever small little exercise selection issue you might have.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important. Do your volume. Do cal strength if you want to get a lot better.
Yeah.
If you just want to get a little better, you can go do a jerk cycle somewhere.
You can program for yourself.
Yeah. Or you can write your own. Good luck with that.
Works.
Like, if I was writing my own program, there is no way I would do something as hard as what we just did.
Yeah, no way.
Because it's not even that I wouldn't want to work hard. It's that if I wrote all that shit down, I would look at it and be like, there's no way.
Yeah, you just would never think that we were capable of doing any of that shit.
Right. Even when Dave laid it out in front of us, I was like, okay, here, this is a punt. I'm going to punt here.
Yeah. Hail Mary.
Do these.
Every squat set will be just 50, a fucking 50. Hail Mary.
Yeah. It was just, it was insane. But then you start working through it and, being more capable than you realize.
Yeah.
And it still sucks. But like one day you pull something out that you weren't expecting, and then you like.
Well, it all compiles, right? Like the week before you do your heavy clean double that was already a PR, and it didn't even feel that bad. And the next week it's like, oh, I got to do that twice. Well, I could probably pull that out. And then it's like, oh, I got to do a jerk, 2 + 1 clean and jerk at this same number that was a PR double last week. Yeah, I could probably do it. Like that confidence just kind of snowballs, and you just kind of get until week 4.
Yeah, and everything crashes down on top.
Our week 4 wasn't that bad.
It's like you build this big wall, and then it falls on you.
It just, it's super sturdy. Yeah. It's a perfectly built wall, and then it just smashes your face.
And that's when you rest. And then you come back and build a new wall.
Really hard deload.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a metaphor right there.
Yeah. That's build your walls, people. Build your walls.
Build the wall.
Come on.
Build the training wall. Not the other one. Or whatever. I don't care. Definitely build your training wall, though.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes.
Your temple. Your training temple.
Sure.
Training
Pyramid.
temple.
Your pyramids.
Your training pyramids.
Yeah.
I guess one thing we also talked about doing on this little show is taking questions from people and trying to help them by answering them. And we have some whiteboards where we can draw. And, so if you have some good weightlifting questions that you'd like to ask me or Jake or even somebody else that's at this gym, head to westkits.com and go to the Ask a Question page and send it on. I got a few.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put this up when we started, and I've already gotten a few. Let's see. They look pretty short. So, what I was kind of envisioning was like send me a paragraph. Like, take some time.
Write out
tell me a little story, because I'm going to read it.
Thesis, intro.
I'm going to read it to Jake's
conclusion.
mom and Chevy's mom and my mom. I'm going to read it out loud to all our moms, and I'm going to answer these questions. So Like if you just say how much protein do you eat, when I have some choices, I'm not going to answer that one.
That one's getting erased and you are getting blocked.
But today I have like 4, so we're going to answer
I got some pretty good ones on the Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do this protein one, and then you can go.
Okay.
Okay? So how much protein, let's read it as it's written. How much protein do you eat? Question mark. You know, and then it says, and how much do you curl? So you shouldn't start a sentence with and usually.
How much protein do you curl?
Did I say protein do you curl?
Is that what he's asking? How much protein do you eat and curl?
No. How much protein do you eat? Question mark.
Oh, separate
And
question.
How much do you curl?
Meaning weight.
Another question mark. So
I see.
just saying, you know, if you start a sentence with
proper
an
grammar is
and,
important.
you should be careful because it's a conjunction for compound sentences.
You
right?
can start a sentence with and.
But you shouldn't most of the time.
Yes.
Okay. I eat. Whoa, that was loud.
I ruined the first episode by screaming into the microphone.
I eat like 350 grams of protein a day.
Shut up. Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like double what I eat.
Are you lying right now?
Yes, it's maybe 1.5 times.
Yeah, I try to shoot for like 350.
Holy.
So that's why when I see those big piles of steak, it's like most nights.
Wow.
Because I'm shooting for 350. And what's cool about protein is no matter where
delicious.
you are in your train, it's delicious. But no matter where you are in your training, you pretty much always need the same. So whether I'm on my accumulation or my transmutation or my competition, my peaking cycle, I'm going to eat 350 grams of protein approximately. Now, what happens
That
is
kind of blows my mind.
the sources change.
Okay, yeah.
So like I eat more red meat because I'm trying to get more fat during accumulation versus when the competitions are getting closer, I need to like lose a little bit of weight. I'm eating more white meat. I'm eating chicken. So you know, the sources change, but I still always strive. I'm always
created.
I'm always
striving.
because I was gonna say try and then I said strive, so I said strive.
That works.
But I always am trying to hit that 350 no matter what we're doing. Because your body should probably use about the same.
Yeah, I think I shoot for about 265. A gram per pound of
You
body
need a lot
weight.
of protein shakes though.
That's including those.
Really?
265 including those.
You gotta eat more meat, bro.
Holy shit! I didn't realize I was
Yeah,
that.
I can't believe we didn't
far
talk
under.
about this.
I know. Who wrote that question? That was a great question. I'm learning things. How much do you curl?
Brian. His name's
Thanks,
Brian.
Brian.
Do you guys want his email address?
No, he'll get spammed for having shitty grammar.
Who wants to email Brian? Brian?
The first question I got on Instagram was, "What that mouth do?" So we're gonna
What does
skip that one.
What does that mouth do, Jake?
And there's some about the army. No questions, just a fan. Thanks, dude. That's
This
very
is
nice.
kind of a good one. When you get yours done.
These are all very cathartic, like big picture. This one's what's your goal after your weightlifting career? I don't have one. I'm just really concerned about the weightlifting.
Oh, you know what
career
your
for
goal
now.
is next? So what are we doing after this quad? Me and you.
Oh, the ranch?
Dude, we're going on an adventure to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, holes.
Holes. We're gonna go to Holes, and we're gonna try to start a strength ranch, which will it's gonna be like another arm of California Strength. It's gonna be like
The sister.
the left arm.
I'm left-handed, so it's the stronger one for me.
It's gonna be the third arm of
The
California
baby
Strength.
arm.
I'd like to be an
It's going to be
extension.
the baby holding the apple of Cal Strength.
We're gonna be the we're gonna be the southeast, Adam. Yeah, we're gonna be the southeast weightlifting hub. Cal Strength Ranch, Tennessee Ranch. We don't really know. We just want to have a weightlifting ranch in Tennessee. So that's the plan for 2021.
All of my questions were joke questions, so I don't have to answer them.
So yeah, I'm excited about our ranch. Are you excited about the ranch?
Yeah, I love ranch, dude. On everything.
Yeah, perfect. So Max Vaughn asked about competing against other countries. He said, "Hey Wes, I'm wondering what country, in your opinion, are the nicest weightlifters?" Then we have an "and" after a question mark again.
It's grammatically correct, but it just kind of reads funny.
It's not even capitalized.
Oh, what an asshole.
Just saying. You can just write a new sentence with also, you just start with
You can
start a brand new.
You could
one.
also use a semicolon. You don't even have to make a new sentence.
So, nicest weightlifters and the craziest weightlifting story at an international competition.
Ooh, that's a cool question.
So, the weightlifters that the international weightlifters I have the most experience with is probably the German team. So Team USA did like a 3-week camp in Germany before Worlds in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan.
Wow.
And Max Lang's out there. He's pretty active on the internet. He's got a pretty big following, and he's a super nice dude. But I traded shirts with another German guy. They were just so welcoming and friendly, and we had a good time training together. That camp was really, really cool. So I would say the German team is probably my favorite outside of Team USA.
My motherland.
Honestly, we don't intermingle too much. There's a pretty obvious language barrier, and I feel like everyone's on different schedules, so they tell you when you're going to the training hall, and you're just you're kind of closed in, so there's not a lot of mixing.
You know who are really nice? The one international meet I did.
Yeah.
The Canadians.
Yeah.
All the stereotypes are true. They're so nice.
Yeah.
Just very apologetic.
Bodie's,
across all sports, because this was
a pretty nice guy. He's from
Bodie's
Canada.
nice dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Bodie's nice. So the Canadians are nice too. That's a good point. Canada's known for, I think, being nice.
Speak English,
nice
so we could have a conversation.
You can talk
very
to them.
nice.
Yeah, that's great. Your craziest weightlifting story at an international competition. I probably can't even
PG one.
I can't even tell probably the craziest ones because there's rules and stuff.
I bet that led to a performance.
I don't know.
Good
The craziest, probably the most fun I ever had on an international trip, I think, was when basically Team Cal Strength went to Russia with a few other American weightlifters. So Dave was the coach of
head coach,
head coach for the team, and then we had
was that Kazan?
Yeah,
2014.
Yeah. And then Team USA ended up winning the tournament. Somehow.
Who was on? I know you was Spencer there.
Me, Don Ford, Rob, Jason Starks,
Ian Wilson.
No. Ethan Herrick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then Jessica Phillips was not on our team yet, but about to be. And there was some other girls, but I don't remember that good. They'd probably be so mad. Oh, the red-haired girl from Muscle Driver.
Meredith?
Nope.
From Brave?
Nope.
Rachel Davis.
Rachel.
Yeah.
I think it's Rachel.
Yeah.
She was there. But anyways, and the guy with the mullet. He was my buddy. I can't believe I forgot his name right now.
Guy with the mullet.
I'm terrible with names. He wore that really cool old school singlet.
Oh, freaking Angelo
Bianco.
Yeah.
Angelo Bianco ate up 3 weight classes for that competition. It was hysterical. But I didn't see him not have food for the whole weekend.
That man's a gamer. He's a good
anyways,
athlete.
We land in Kazan at 2 a.m. and the girls are lifting the next morning. I'm lifting the next the afternoon.
Oh shit!
So we're all waking up the next day and having to compete, and we had a handful of weightlifters slide into a bronze medal. We had I think Rob finished 4th, and we just we did pretty good overall, and somehow we won the thing. So we were at this the banquet afterwards, and we're having a drink because you used to be able to at these things, and hanging out and enjoying it. And then they went to read the winner of the competition, and it got kind of awkward. They didn't really know because it ended up being us. And I think Team Russia just assumed that they were going to win it.
Russia.
Yeah. And it just got kind of quiet. They shut it down kind of quick. And then we found this cool bar. We went and hung out.
Yeah.
Rob went on a iced over river, or didn't. No, Rob's friends went on an iced over river. Then Rob slipped and fell in a different area. And, we went to karaoke bar.
Nice.
It was just so much fun. We went bowling the next day. It was a great trip.
Mm-hmm.
Was that too long a story?
Oh, that was perfect.
Is that a good story?
I mean, we've been talking for at least 6 hours.
This is gonna be the world's
I hope
longest
Adam
podcast.
edits a lot of what I was saying to where this is only 45 minutes.
What do you think?
Let's see if I got a serious question here.
You don't, dude. No one. You need to take yourself more seriously on Instagram.
Oh,
Because clearly
this
everybody
one's
thinks you're
good.
just a big jokester.
Weightlifting advice for tall boys.
Oh.
You gave me some good advice about that recently. So if you're tall, stop fucking worrying about it. It doesn't matter. The best weightlifter in the world, Lasha Talakedzi, is what, 6'7"?
He's a pretty big dude.
You're just going to have to focus on your core a little more and then stop fucking making excuses about being tall and how shorter people are built for this. No one's built for weightlifting. This shit's going to be hard. You're going to have an advantage here and then a disadvantage there. Everyone's going to have their strengths and weaknesses. So for tall boys,
It's a really fair sport.
it is.
Well, except for if you do drugs, because that's cheating.
I mean,
But outside of the
but like
outside
in
of
terms
that, like everyone has if you're naturally taller, then when you stand up, the bar's already higher than a shorter person.
I think taller people are better at
When you fold your
snatch.
knees, you're lower because you can fold up like
Like a lawn chair.
right. If you have 8 feet of legs, you can fold that down to 4 feet and then
Yeah.
smush it. If you've got really good ankle mobility,
You will physically be doing more work, but there is nothing. You have no real disadvantage being tall. If you got to work on your mobility a little more, you got to work on your core a little more. That doesn't really have to do anything with your height.
so if you're a weightlifter, just shut up and work hard.
Yeah. Don't worry about your height. Don't let that be something that you fall back on if you didn't do well. Oh, well, I'm tall, so it's harder for me to do front squats. I mean,
Dude,
no.
this guy gets it. He said, other than sleeping heavy and eating thick, what are your go-to recovery methods and how often do you implement them?
I asked, or let me.
We sauna 4 times a
do
week.
sauna
We stretch before practice.
before bed too.
You're not a great before practice stretcher.
I do it before bed.
You're a good before bed stretcher. I
balance board before practice.
I'm guilty of not stretching before bed enough.
Should
You
do
know,
it.
because I
Makes
get
you feel-
home,
sleep better.
I had crammed down that
Eat 350
16
grams
ounces of
steak.
meat,
Yeah.
and then I just am stuck in whatever seat that I ate that meat in for a while. Then I have to poop
Yeah.
because that's way too much meat to eat in one sitting.
I asked Alexi Tarakti, or someone asked, I don't remember. I did hit Alexi Tarakti's first seminar here at Cal Strength back in the day, his first one in the United States. And that question was asked, and his answer was weed and girls.
Weed?
Yeah.
Like marijuana?
Marijuana and then girls. So just,
Toke it up.
yeah, and then
Blaze.
find yourself a love partner and get better at weightlifting.
Did he say how frequently to make
No,
love?
his English wasn't great at the time,
Yeah.
but he's also married.
Right.
So I would imagine once a year.
That can't be right.
Month, I don't know. I'm not
Sounds
married.
like it was a pivotal part of his training.
His training leading up to that, yeah.
So it had to be more than once a year.
They mentioned sauna,
Sauna's good.
definitely
Stretching.
marijuana and physical activity.
I just wouldn't reinvent the wheel with your recovery. Like we might go by cryo every now and then, and you think you might feel better when you get out of that place. Jake, shh.
Oh, sorry.
Please. But I don't know. Nothing's magic. Let's say cryo might be 0.5% of recovery, and sauna might be 0.5%, and stretching might be 2%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not like you get that much back. If you're doing work in the gym, you're gonna be beat up, you're gonna be tired,
Yeah.
and you just have to try to get your body ready.
Yeah, there's no
more
magic
training.
pill to make you feel really good after a
I
hard
think
day.
it's called
Kinda just-
ibuprofen, actually.
okay, a little vitamin
Advil.
I, but
Don't
as long as you're
don't take a
sleeping.
lot of Advil or ibuprofen. If you make your own body sore, you should just suck it up and take it on. Now, if you beat something up, like you beat up a joint or whatever, you need a little help, go ahead, get your anti-inflammatories down, feel a little better, get your training done. But if you're just sore, just don't.
Actually, when it comes to like your joint
Don't
pain,
be a sissy.
a lot of people I know take the ibuprofen like before training to help for that session, which is it's not effective that way. You have to do a dosage for, 5 to 10 days.
You're talking about for the anti-inflammatory.
For the anti-inflammatories. If you want that joint or whatever tendon to stop being so pissed off and calm down, you have to do a cycle essentially of like 600 milligrams twice a day or 3 times, depending on how bad it is.
Creatine?
Creatine's magic. That's what you got to do.
Are you on creatine?
Am I on creatine? Was it fucking steroids? Yes, I take creatine. I've been taking creatine since I was 20 and I haven't skipped a day. Are you on cycling creatine?
So safe to say you're also on kidney stones.
I mean, yeah, but you just pass it.
Not that
it's
bad.
not that bad.
After the first
you
one?
pass it during a hard squat sometimes if you're lucky.
After the first one, the whole stretched out.
It's big.
They're easy to
scar
pass.
tissue don't even hurt. Oh, man.
I'm just kidding. I don't think creatine causes kidney stones.
No.
I think that's just a myth.
I think if anything, 350 grams of protein is going to cause kidney stones more than creatine.
I don't feel like that's even that much.
That's a lot.
Sometimes I get protein shamed by that dude that's like does like 450, or like Brian Shaw eats like 10,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're like a buff guy or like a workout dude, like if someone eats more protein than you, it's kind of makes you feel like shame.
Inadequate.
Right. Like you feel like if this guy eats 400 grams of protein, like, well, I need to eat 400 grams, which I think is how I got to 350.
That's exactly how I feel now.
Yeah, you should.
I only eat 265.
That's like,
for all intents and purposes, I am a 15-kilo woman.
I actually looked it up yesterday, and babies actually need 265 grams of protein a day to grow into big people.
Yeah.
So, you're on like a baby portion of protein.
But they also get colostrum.
Right.
And breast milk.
Breast milk has a lot of protein in it.
Yeah, and fat.
It's facts.
Yeah.
Like,
how far are we taking this? Because I'm ready to jump ship now.
One boob. I can't say.
I know. Anyways, one boob.
One boob can hold up to 600 grams of protein.
Your average B cup.
Is B average?
I don't know. I think C is average if school has taught me anything.
Then A is
C
good.
plus is about average.
And D's are bad.
Yeah.
What if it's like a reverse? What if it's a reverse correlation with like how smart you are,
No.
or it's linear?
I have met people who break that rule.
Me,
for example.
You know, gal?
No, I'm just saying. If that were true, I should have huge tits.
All right. Well,
Because I'm not very smart.
well, now that we've ruined this podcast,
There's
I guess that's
so
it.
much
Or do you have
difference.
any? Should we do anything else?
No, I'd like to redo my whole who is Jake Baker part.
You wanna start
kinda
over?
Fuck that up.
All right. Tell your story. You got 30 seconds,
All right.
and then we're gonna finish. Then we're gonna close it out.
We're going to skip that whole embarrassing high school section.
Okay. Jake wasn't a vegan in high school.
Nope. Not once.
What's next?
Okay, who is Jake Baker?
Poonhound.
Just fucking pussy slayer. Cut it right there.
Okay. So I'm feeling good. I think everybody's gonna listen to this, including your mom and my mom and Chevy's mom. And you just told her that, so I hope you're proud of yourself. Hope everybody learned something interesting about boobs today, and weightlifting, and they learned about Jake, and I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
we
be
got
back
a
next
lot
week.
of things to talk about.
We'll be back next week, whether you like it or not. So I guess that's it. Cue the
Outro music.
outro. Let's go. Hit it.